Hi there, it's Teresa again, and this is coming to you part two from the last one, when the doshes can get confusing. I wanted to do a part two and kind of go on a little bit more with some more clarity. So when I started talking about, you'll have to listen to part one if you haven't, if you don't know where we're at here. But when I was talking last time about this particular person being in a very mobile place, we were back over here in like Vata, very mobile place of having to care for a loved one who was not at home anymore, and they were going through the transition of um, moving to another facility in the hospital and then assisted care living. And so here's the partner trying to be stable and take care of um, their loved one, right? So that's the goal, is that she wants to still be able to take care of and be there for her loved one. Because, and this will happen to a lot of people, right? If you're a person that has had someone that you know go into the hospital, you know what happens. Your life gets turned upside down, right? Chaos ensues and everyone's going in all different directions. Back here to these directional air qualities of Vata. And if you're not a naturally stable person, if you don't have a lot of kapha in you, a lot of grounded energy in you, this mobilization of your days is going to really throw you into overwhelm pretty easily. And it is going to, it's going to be very challenging for you, right? If we go back to the person this morning who's an older lady, she's trying to help her loved one, and she's going all over the place, but she's been starting to find that, and she's got her habits are really dialed in. This is what habits dialed in is the ultimate form of bringing groundedness to your life. Habits dialed in, total grounding. And like I said in the first video, she is an A++ person at this, right? She's been working on it for a long time. So don't get yourself down if you're not her. I'm not even her yet. She's got them really dialed in. She's an older woman who is able to really settle into this and has really, really devoted her life and has found great meaning and purpose in, finding this stability for herself and this grounding for herself. And it made her a really, really great caretaker. It has made her a really great caretaker. So the habits have really been, so instrumental for her in being able to do as much as she's been able to do. But now she's reached another point where, again, this challenge came in to be in lots of different places throughout her days. Her routines have gotten shuffled, and we're trying to find some solutions for her on how to deal with. She was complaining of some cloudiness in thinking, and in her vision as well. So at first, when we were talking, I was like, okay, maybe what's going on is that with all this transitioning, there isn't enough grounding, that she needs to amp up the grounding. And so we talked about how, and the person who this is, I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing all this, but anyway, we talked about maybe that she's already really good at meditation and stillness and mindfulness. So good at this stuff. And at first, my thought for her was maybe she needs to up her dose of these things, right? Up the dose. So if this is thought of as this is, if we think about this meditation, mindfulness, and stillness as medicine, which it is, medicine is something that brings you back to balance. That's its goal, medicine. If this is what she's already good at, but life has become more challenging than usual, more challenging, mobile, chaos, changes. That perhaps we were talking, maybe what she needs to do again, if she takes, let's say one pill of meditation, stillness, and mindfulness a day, or if she even hits it twice a day, maybe she needs a couple more. So if this is like, say this is, let's say she does this morning and night, we'll just use an example. Maybe she needs more of it throughout the day. So that's when I suggested, okay, maybe what you could use is before you leave the house, take a dose of these 3 things. When you leave the house to go see your loved one, and maybe when you return home, you need a dose. So maybe, oh, this is terrible. Let's see. Bear with me again. So maybe instead of 2 doses a day, she needs 4 doses a day of this meditation, stillness, and mindfulness. Now, that sounded like a really great idea. And then as the conversation went on, she said, I really do already do this almost throughout the day. I walk around very slowly, and I'm very mindful. I'm very meditative when I'm walking. I'm very meditative when I'm cooking, cleaning. Like, she's really good at all of these things. So she actually is getting quite a few doses in of this medicine down here, this meditation, stillness, and mindfulness. She's already getting a lot of that. That's our habit 7, by the way. So this is habit 7. And she came in as a meditator, so she was already really good at this, and all that stuff. So anyway, she said, but I already do a lot of these things. And I said, okay, let's go back to like her first complaints, which were this cloudiness. Okay, if she's got cloudiness and she's got, vision issues are coming up, that brings us up to all of a sudden I went, oh, okay. She needs clear thinking and clear vision. Mind, brain, sight. So then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, maybe what's missing is some pitta. Maybe because she's always been a very functional person, she really does get things done. She has had to, do a lot for others, and it's been mobile. So her purpose, this is also ambition and purpose, pitta. What you're aiming for, your noble aim, as some talk about. It's really great. She's found out that her noble aim, her goal is to be, a very good caretaker to this person that she loves so much. But as we know, we need to take care of ourselves, take care of others. And so she's really good at this. But again, back to dosage. If we go back to dosage, maybe this is what she needs a greater dose of. Maybe she needs a little more fire in her day. Happy fire, good fire, transformative fire. Okay. So maybe she needs some more pills of this. What could that look like? in a balanced way. This is like, again, this is the quest that we were on today. So I wanted to finish out this. I realized that, you know, because of my Vata nature, I got off track and I didn't seal up the deal on that last video. So this is why we're coming again. I wanted to just kind of round out how we worked through this, this challenge, this problem, this issue. And so if we've got cloudy brain, cloudy sight, how can we move some stagnant energy, transform that, burn off some of that fog, and create clarity? And that's where we get into also, this is clear, that is clear. So we want balanced clarity, balanced purpose, balanced focus, balanced vision. Going on a little bit of a tangent, I know. Stick with me. See if we can get somewhere at the end here. So some things that we came up with for her. If she's very grounded and she's mobile, that means what's left, the energy needs to come up. So how do we get that energy back up? She was talking about how, you know, she became, you know, very good at like walking slow and mindful. Well, this could be where there's too much slow, too much sitting, too much mindfulness, not that you could have too much mindfulness, but you know what I mean? Like if you're thinking and just full of intention all the time, sometimes you need to like, you know, let loose and create something and just like get really like full of energy, right? And so that's where we want to bring the energy back up. Things that we came up with. Breath of fire. Let's see. Let's erase a few things here. Make room for this. All right, so some strategies we came up with were breath of fire. She's already really good at breathing exercises, like that's her forte. She can just access a different kind of breath. It's the breath of fire, where you're like not focusing on the inhale, you're focusing on the exhale, all right? And so you're like creating some fire. Second thing that we talked about, and that was going to bring, like, do it a couple times, do it the right way, find some videos. Brett Larkin's a really good resource for it. Breath of Fire, look up Brett Larkin Breath of Fire, and she'll take you on a 3-minute video of this Breath of Fire and how to do it correctly and who should not be doing Breath of Fire. There are some people that should not be doing it. It's a very powerful breath. The other thing that we came up with was in her walking, if walking is her current form of movement and it's very mindful and it's slow and it's meditative walking, maybe we need to bring some more like energy to her walking. So maybe it's more like arms are in the moving, arms are going, or maybe it's carrying weights. Maybe it's just getting the breath going a little bit quicker. But she's an older person, so I said, but be careful. And if you've got vision is not super clear and we start walking, we could end up in like a fall, which we don't want, obviously, do not want. So only increase the walking if that feels like I'm really stable and I can do this. Or if you've got a cane or like a, you know, a walking stick, a hiking stick, or a walker, or whatever that would be. Another thing is that swimming. She's really great at swimming. If you know this person, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. But we all love her so much. I think she's going to be okay. So swimming, if we're worried about walking and increasing the walking to get like blood pumping and things moving more and get some fire going, but your sight is not as great as it should be and you're getting a little older, that might be a danger. So what about swimming? She's also really good at swimming. Could she, you know, change the type of swimming that she's doing to get the heart pumping more? Or could she And in swimming, you're safe in the water, right? Like you're cradled by the water, you're not gonna fall. She's a very smart woman. I know that she would know to stop before she exerted herself too much. So we're not looking for like, again, it's anytime we do this medicine here, it's not one size fits all. It's absolutely for whom and when. Classic for whom and when. Every person's different. We're different every day. We're different every season. We're different every year. We're in different stages of our life. So this is when it gets like a beautiful art form that gets to be a really, really creative process to solutions. And that's what's just so enticing. Like we get to be creative with our solutions because it's for whom and when. There's not a cookie cutter answer. All right. So anyway, back to this. It's because this person is an older person. And so we need to like make sure, like someone else who's, 30 years younger than her, we would have a completely different way of solving this. There might be some aspects that are the same, but we always have to keep in mind, um, has this person been sick for 3 years? Has this person been sick for 10 years? Has this person never been sick? Are they used to learning how to do recovery work? Are they completely new to the idea of recovery work? Is this overwhelming to even like look at this? Probably for many of you. But those of you that have worked with me, you're like, yeah, this is what she does, right? But anyway, back to like how to create like a safe way to experiment with upward energy and coming like out of the vata and the kapha potential imbalances and bringing in pitta to kind of close the circle and have all doshas present so that we can find balance again. So again, breath of fire, increased walking, increased swimming, and also if she can take some of her movement practices at home and be holding on to something very stable and create movement upward, maybe get the heart pumping a little bit more, even just touch the floor, reach for the sky, touch the floor, reach for the sky, doing that. I've got a video on that, like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, whatever feels good. Like that's getting the energy going, right? It's going to start to like get things going. We also have what we talked about was nasal breathing was so fantastic because we can work with nitric oxide. Hopefully you can still see this. Yeah. And what nitric oxide is, when you're breathing through your nose, you're increasing your nitric oxide, which is already available to us every day. But when we do the nasal breathing in a very in a great way, when we learn how to do good nasal breathing and we're not just breathing through our mouth, we're increasing that nitric oxide, and the nitric oxide is going in and it's like opening the channels. It's like telling things to like open up in the body. And so it can also open up the brain, create clearer thinking. So anyway, those are some of our solutions. I could talk about this stuff all day long. So get in touch with me if any of this is interesting. If you look at it and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? That is crazy talk. But you're kind of also curious, get in touch with me because this is advanced kind of talk here. And I get it. Not everyone's going to really understand it, but the beauty again is that this is a lifetime of understanding. That's why Ayurveda is so beautiful, because you don't just get it within a day, a week, a year, a month, like whatever. It's a lifetime of study. And the more that you learn it, the deeper you can go and the more subtle transformation that you can access and subtle power that you can access, because it's ancient wisdom. It's been around for thousands of years and it's applicable in all areas of life. So again, I've been studying this for about 6 years now. I love it. I'm obsessed, and I could talk about it all day long. So if you would like to talk with me about this and would like to try to find solutions to your problems, maybe Ayurveda has that for you, and maybe working with me would be good. My best attributes are that I'm a pretty good listener. I've been told I'm a really good listener, and I'm very passionate, and I really, really come from the heart. So if you like to work with people like that, maybe I'm your person. So get in touch. All right, thanks.